On September 6, Queen Elizabeth II officially appointed Liz Truss as Prime Minister of Britain. After 45 days, on October 20, she announced her resignation, stating, "I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. As a result, I have informed His Majesty, the King, that I am resigning as Conservative Party leader." With this, Truss earned the dubious distinction of being the shortest-serving leader in British history. Her resignation came after a rough 6 weeks as Prime Minister. During that time, her approval rating dropped to the lowest level for a British Prime Minister in decades. Because the markets didn't like her promise to cut taxes while spending more money. In response to the plan, there was a rush to sell UK debt, so the Bank of England stepped in to bring order back to the financial markets. Since she was only in office for a brief period of time, it is simple to summarize what went wrong. Some of the major factors that led to her decline are lousy politics, a poor party process, poor policies, poor positioning, and a poor presentation. Truss did bad politics from the beginning of her time in office. She has been too confident in her abilities, assuming somewhat glibly that sound bites and repeated comments are sufficient methods of conveying leadership. She thought, arrogantly and somewhat childishly, that she could ignore expert advice and fight off the massed forces of international capital. She wouldn't put anyone in office who hadn't supported her, so she had a limited pool of candidates to choose from. So there was a clear lack of talent in her cabinet. And after less than 2 months in office, Truss had to fire her Chancellor and Home Secretary, the two most important positions in government, after the PM. This resignation was unexpected. As soon as Truss's self-destructive mini-budget was announced, it was clear how out of whack things were. In the middle of a cost-of-living crisis, removing restrictions on bankers' bonuses and lowering business taxes were never going to go over well. She had been warned that giving out so many tax cuts without paying for them would make the financial markets very nervous. But she rejected advice, firing the Treasury's senior civil servant, who had plenty of expertise and sensible counsel to give. At the end of the day, politics is about people. You need to be able to talk, understand, connect, and feel what other people are feeling. Since the PM office have experts and advisors for intellectual or financial matters, so the most important kind of intelligence for a prime minister is emotional, not intellectual or financial. And the truth is that Truss never seemed to be able to connect with people or calm down. If there is one thing that the troubles of Truss show, it is probably how dangerous the British Constitution is. It is still a power-hoarding constitution, in which a very small number of people can make big decisions, with almost no oversight. One such example is how she ignored the Office for Budgetary Responsibility. Liz Truss's awful episode in British politics demonstrates the dangers of political zealotry. She left Downing Street in the same way she had entered it. That is, weakly, arrogantly, haplessly, reeking of incompetence, and without an ounce of personal insight. Leadership should not be seen as an ego trip or a game. It is not a place for ideological experimentation. It is about making a difference and leaving your organization better prepared for the future. Leadership is about everyone else, not about you. If you don't like the idea of being responsible for your actions and having to answer for them, you might not be a good leader.